Hey guys, EST here, and instead of just reporting on interesting news that affects like the global environment and the future of stuff you might care about, and then just getting the views and moving on to the next thing, I don't really even honestly cover the news that much on this channel, but when I do, I follow up on it. And oh boy, we've got some additional information on this Crowdstrike stuff, and it seems like this is being suppressed. I heard about this from a comment on a random social media website, and I thought that can't be true. And then I looked into it, and how is nobody reporting on this? So Crowdstrike, kind of an antivirus company, but they do like anti-everything. They're like a general security IT protection suite company. Very overpriced product in my opinion, but they're the one that you just go with if you're an important thing, like an airline or a bank or whatever. Little tip for you, after working in IT for like 15 years, don't go with the big one just because they're the biggest. They're the most complacent, lazy, and overpriced. Go with the company that's hungry and is growing and has something to prove and has to earn your money. So the big thing in our sphere was it on purpose? Was it one of three things? One, complete accident or like negligence, nobody knew about this. Two, somebody knew about this and it was sabotage, it was revenge, it was an angry employee, it was an external hacker trying to, lower the value of their company, or was it them doing it on purpose? For some sort of like means to an end, to like scare people or warn people or flex their power, or I don't know. Now, I would have thought that's just a fringe conspiracy nonsense for people who don't know enough about how IT and how like tech companies work. That seemed extremely far-fetched. Except Crowdstrike was the one that came out and said, yes, we corroborate with these Democrats and we absolutely agree that we have incontrovertible proof that Trump colluded with Russia to, beat Hillary Clinton. And then it turned out later that was all complete manufactured nonsense. So who told them to say that? They clearly did not have the evidence because it didn't exist. Why did they say it? What were they compensated with to say it? I mean, all kinds of questions. So if they're willing to be the mouthpiece in a ridiculous fake allegation against a sitting president, what else are they willing to do? And so that was a really, really, really good point and a really good starting point. But the ending point is a little different. Okay, here's the bombshell. George Kurtz, founder and current CEO of Crowdstrike. Back in 2010, he worked for McAfee Antivirus. He was the CTO. That's the Chief Technology Officer. You could even dare say head engineer. In a software and antivirus company, that's the person who makes sure their thing works. Their scanner works and things can't evade it and rootkits can't get around it. April 21st, 2010. Under his watch, they released an update, stop me if this sounds familiar, that deleted a key Windows file. I believe it had flagged it as a virus incorrectly, and millions with an S of computers around the world were just crashing and repeatedly rebooting. That required a manual fix, okay? That was before all this BitLocker encryption Microsoft garbage, and computers were a lot more simple back then, but still, that's a computer by computer fix, or you gotta just reinstall Windows, reimage them, whatever, roll them back from an image backup or whatever. People were pissed. Fast forward the clock, McAfee eventually basically went bankrupt. They didn't because they got bought by Intel, and that's why they're still around today, but they're almost as garbage today as they were back then. I mean, you go try and install Adobe Reader. Right now, you get McAfee antivirus scan, whatever security assessment tool, which they've already been sued and lost in court about once, by the way. After researchers said, we put this on a flawless computer and it said, your computer's about to explode, you need McAfee antivirus, oh my God. So they're lying, alarmist, garbage co-installed trash. That's where they're at right now. You could imagine how they got there, and they got there under his watch. So this would be the second time that a company he was in control of did this. Clearly the guy has some issues with the team under him having some kind of consistent operational standards and a bulletproof process. So that was in spring 2010. 2012, he started Crowdstrike. Should have been booted out of the company a hell of a lot earlier than that, in my opinion. But maybe he was. Maybe he took a year off. I don't know. I couldn't find his fire date. Or leave the company on my own accord date. Whichever it is, I don't care because we all know what really happened. I literally didn't even look what they said happened because we all know what really happened. So remember, now he's not just the CTO. He's not some like lead engineer, programmer, product assurance, quality assurance. He is the founder and CEO. So he's obviously in charge of like keeping the stock price high and marketing and, the whole company, the finances, debt to income ratio, real estate holdings, like everything. So he is also in charge of managing crises. public image, corporate reputation, sales, you could even say. It's his company. Well, it was before they went public, which is why you never go public. Dell could have learned that lesson. So he decided, or somebody under him decided, and he approved of this, that the best thing they could do is send people affected a $10 gift code for, I don't even remember. I think they had said like, haha, wink, nod, it's for a coffee. And then they like revoked the codes. Like the codes didn't even work if you went to redeem them. I think they pulled them because of either a problem with like the vendor that was supplying them, or they realized it was such a bad idea they pulled the plug, which looked even worse. The guy has no idea what he's doing. He is an absolute moron. Now, looking into his personality, kind of profiling him a little bit, does he seem like the type of psychopath and the type of person, just the type of background, interests, that kind of stuff, that would go full Budweiser? Which means all you have to do is throw your little lefty projects and your lefty creepazoids under the bus and move on and make your money. Or you can lose literal billions. I think 50, 60, 200 billion. I don't remember. Like $100 billion. Like think about that. That's $1 million 100 times over. For you to just say, sorry, we didn't realize Dylan was an insult to women everywhere. But you as a company and all of your financial advisors and budgeting people and all that decided that you apologizing is worth more money than the losses. And then like the opposing one would be Tractor Supply, where they found out that somebody blew the whistle on their training and how woke that garbage was and their DEI hiring and all that crap. And they got rid of their entire department. The whole entire department of wokeness fired. Apologized, said F this, and we're moving on. Fix the problem, cut out the cancer, come back shopping, okay? Not, hey, look, the line's still going down. Let's double down and I'm going to strap on some skis and see how much speed I can pick up on this downward slope. Not many people will go full Budweiser, and he doesn't match one single criteria for that other than their actions with the Trump crap. And I think that was just money oriented. He cares more about his business, his little pet project, which is his business, and the success of the company, his reputation, and money, and more money than he does about woke crap. So if they're saying, hey, go do this, go sabotage a bunch of computers just to like warn people or something, or I don't, nobody really knows what the point was. They just think, okay, they're a lefty company, and so they probably had some nefarious thing to do with this, which is, like I said, is a very good starting point. But if you can't get to the end point, then stop saying online that it definitely for sure was this when you don't know if it was definitely for sure that, because it wasn't. This is not the guy that would say, yeah, we'll take like a multi-billion-dollar hit to our stock price and our company's reputation forever and risk completely ruining my entire company for a message to like disrupt a little bit of early voting and the RNC plane flights. It affected the whole world. It wasn't just in America. They didn't know what they could have done is only targeted computers, quote unquote, on accident that had English installed as their default. There have been a lot of viruses and malware that will not affect infect or damage a computer if the default language and primary language is set to Chinese or Russian. Guess why that is? Now, this hit the whole world, and that doesn't make any ounce of sense, so I'd give this a 0% chance that it was on purpose and it was some kind of staged thing, because all they did was ruin their own reputation. He had to have known that this was coming. And looking at the technical ways that this happened, like basically it called 21 things and then only 20 were returned. So when it got to the 21st thing, it had a null reference and then just crashed. That absolutely should have been caught during testing, but I guess they like released the wrong one. I read the root cause analysis and even I found it mind-blowingly boring, and I work in IT and I used to be a developer. So if even I can't pay attention to this crap, then I won't make you suffer through it. But I do get it. But I also think that it should have been caught. Should I mention that I've had to fill out 2 RCA's root cause analyses just at my current IT employer? Yeah, if the sales and management department could stop clicking on stuff, that would be great. I swear to God, most of these RCA's, especially at like other companies with worse training than us, could just be like one sentence. Our sales department are morons. That's the root cause analysis. Tell me I'm wrong. So this guy just has an entire career of being a careless idiot and not having an attention to detail. So of course it happened twice. Everybody's like, we're the best. We make no mistakes. We're the best for a reason. And they get a little too comfy until they mess up. And if you say, no, they're way too big. They have way too many resources. They attract the best of the best. That just isn't true anymore. Not since about 2005. If you're Microsoft, if you're Intel, if you're like some giant corporation, Facebook, Google, you attract pretty much the most mediocre because that's how you cut costs and compete with other people. You don't hire the best anymore, and you really don't hire the best if you have a woke bunch of morons in your hiring department, which I know Google does. I'm not sure about CrowdStrike. With the whole Trump thing, I think so. If you still don't believe me, Microsoft, okay? Roughly 2 weeks ago, all of Europe was knocked out, okay? Not with the operating system, with Office 365, their arguably premier product. It seems they care more about Office 365 and their cloud Azure crap than they do about the Windows operating system from an effort level, investment level, and income level. All three of those. All of Europe and part of Canada was knocked out. Oops. Here's a summary of the root cause analysis. They have DDoS protection, which is the distributed denial of service attack, where you just flood a target with so much traffic that their servers shut down due to lack of bandwidth or processing power to respond to all of the requests. So they have a protection against that, and somebody launched a DDoS attack, and their protection was designed wrong because they didn't design it correctly or test it appropriately, apparently. And it amplified the attack. You gotta be some special kind of stupid to not just not work, but to amplify it, okay? I know how DDoS protections work. They're not complicated. Dude, look at their current CEO who decided, I'm going to only hire my own people from my own country. Look at the issue with, one, lack of IT staffing over in India versus demand after COVID. And then the epidemic of fake degrees. And then woke hiring practices where now they're just like going after specifically Indian women to work there. Like, dude, Indian women don't go get IT degrees, okay? That's not a thing. They're not that progressive over there. So they're just going full California, just hiring morons who have no idea what they're doing, okay, to design this stuff. And they just kind of like look up stuff as they go and front and pretend like they have anything that resembles the qualifications put on their resume. So what do you get? Oops, our DDoS thing is configured incorrectly. The next week, all of Office 365, Azure, Web, Intune, or in whatever the hell that stupid AD cloud crap is that people fall for, instead of on-prem, just knocked out Canada and all of Northeast America. I still to this day have no idea what caused it. Luckily, I'm in the Midwest. Didn't affect us or we'd be in trouble. And we have on-prem. We've got a hybrid one-directional where it's local authoritative for all you IT people out there. That still wouldn't keep people from failing to log in with like our Azure Authenticator, which means we'd be locked out of like our CRM and like everything. Everything uses Microsoft SSO. Because people are stupid and keep forgetting their damn passwords for 15 different services. And get their credentials stolen because they use the same damn password on some ghetto crap website that got hacked and all the passwords reversed. You think they care? You think they're going to give a refund? Yeah, sure. Right after like Verizon and AT&T give you a refund for any of the crap they pulled, okay? It's all the same. The bigger the company, the worse the operations, the more they know they can just get away with something. Look at the Google lawsuit right now. They had as either a leak or part of a whistleblower thing or part of a subpoena. I don't remember which of the three it was, but they found through their own internal research that if they were to worsen the quality or not keep up and police the quality of their search results by a factor of like almost unlimited. I don't remember what the stated number was, but just if they made their search results way worse by just cutting numbers, not giving a crap, it would not affect their bottom line or their income in any way. Because Bing is just that much worse and they have no competition. That's why they're getting antitrust just raked over the coals. They might get split up. I'd love to see YouTube broken off from Google. That would be a dream come true. They could operate better without Google. I'm not saying like, oh yeah, good, get them. No, like it would be positive for them. But I mean, that's what every single company thinks. They just think we're the biggest. We have no competition. We bought our competition or illegally abused the monopoly to force them out. And now who cares? Like the Apple Butterfly keyboard. Apple customers are brainwashed cult members. They're the stupidest people in the entire world. That Butterfly keyboard, one speck of dust and you need a repair. It's like $300 and it's not covered by warranty. It's been like 9 years and finally that lawsuit just got settled and payments are going out right now as of last week. They did it year after year after year and internal documents showed they were aware of it and just didn't care because are customers not going to buy their product if they keep making a defective keyboard? Yeah, the customers will keep coming in. You just blame the customer, tell them it was their fault and they should not spill anything or get crumbs on their keyboard. Just blame them and cover it up. And that's what they did, and their customers kept showing up. Apple has far from a monopoly, but like I said, they're a cult. If you're a vapid, materialistic idiot who likes to show off to your friends, you have an Apple. If you have chimp-level intelligence and don't trust yourself to not catch a virus, then you have an Apple computer and an iPhone, both of which probably have a virus on it. Because it's 2024 and that's not how it works, okay? The bigger the tech company, the more realistic it is to say, wow, they had this giant worldwide outage and the world keeps on spinning. And CrowdStrike was the biggest IT security company in the world. The difference is they have competitors. They have a lot of competitors. Their reputation just got nuked and their stock price is never going to recover. Their customers are leaving in droves. I wouldn't say it's over for them, but they're just going to go back to being another antivirus. Nobody in their right mind running a startup right now or getting like a really big expansion, an acquisition or merger is going to say, who should we go with? Let's go with CrowdStrike. Nobody. Zero. So if you got customers leaving and you got zero brand new ones entering, what does that do to your numbers? So yeah, hopefully that makes sense. If you have any other questions about specifics, I do know quite a bit about the situation because I find it fascinating and it affects my job. So leave them down in the comments section if you just, appreciate that there was a follow-up to my last video and you actually got the full story here and like an actual true solution to my opinion instead of just leaving it hanging as we'll never know. Leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.